Here's Nix. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Evan Ingram, his third touchdown now on the year.
What's up, Bronco fans? We are rebuilding the Denver Broncos in 2025. They're off to a 2-2 record. They have one of the best offensive playbooks. Kind of have a tough schedule so far, a little middle of the road. Some of that is just team overall and who they've played. Got a really good game on tap for you today against the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, this does go to overtime, so we will be picking up this game in the second quarter at the very beginning to save time. But let's get into this team. They're an 85 overall, 84 on offense, 87 on defense. As I mentioned, I really love their playbook. Some really good games out of Bo Nix. I mean, when they win, they put up big numbers. So it's a really good playbook offensively. I got another team in this offense that is going to do very well as well. But we're talking about the Broncos. Bo Nix, one of the leaders in yards and touchdowns. He has 1,100 yards through 4 games, 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Got to work on that a little bit. RJ Harvey really came onto the scene in week 1. If you want to catch up to this point, stop the video, and in the top pinned comment, I will have a list of all the videos so far, all 4 games, a playlist of the Broncos season so far. So if you want to follow along for just the Broncos, go ahead and like, up, subscribe. If you want to watch all the games for the 2025 season, I upload every single game. Yes, that's right. We slow sim and upload every single game. Right now, Evan Ingram is tearing the world apart. He has the most receptions, yards. He might not. He might have to get benched. He's so good and unrealistic. It's unbelievable. He had one. What really did it is he had one game where he had 20 catches, which is pretty unheard of. So he might need to get benched just for realistic stat reasons. But I'm waiting to kind of see if Madden does its thing. And when a guy's having a great year, they tend to get hurt. So we'll see. 10 sacks for Nick Benito. He's doing really well. Of course, you can't throw Patrick Surtain's way. So there you go. An early look at the Broncos in 2025. Go ahead and follow along if you'd like. I'm here to rebuild your team and actually every team. But right now, we're focused on the Denver Broncos. So let's get in this game. As I said, we're picking up at the beginning of the second quarter.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 41. Looking to throw. Prescott. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down. Now Prescott. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So they get the interception, and almost as importantly, a big return after that.
And who was the guy that saved the touchdown, partner? The guy who threw the interception. A lot of times, he just gives it the old Olay, but give him credit. He went old school. He was determined not to make this a pick 6, and he got there in time to make the tackle.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They take over here with good field position thanks to that nice return after the interception, as they're already in the red zone, 1st and 10. To throw is Nix. Over the middle, he finds Vele. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Here's Nix. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Evan Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they'd love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. And out now come the Cowboys. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Dak swinging this out quickly to Lamb. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw is Prescott. Pass taken in by his big tight end, and he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Cowboys at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. CeeDee Lamb. 50 yards. And the Cowboys have got it back to within a score. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Well, the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now it's Nix. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arm saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
1st down, here's Estime. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Mozzie Smith there to bring him down. 2nd and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw. Nix. And this is going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. From a star in college to a star in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb at wide receivers, he brings out this offense. He's probably someone they want to get more involved at this point. Second quarter down on the scoreboard, and you know that he can be a threat.
And because he's such a threat, as well as so productive, I'm with you on this. They've got to get him the ball more, give him more opportunities for them to have a chance to erase that lead.
Certainly they'll be looking to get him even more in the mix this go-around. Now a first carry for their fullback. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. The offense on third down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. Taken right around the 44. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Nix. A short throw to Ingram. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Nix to throw again. He completes this to Sutton. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Dallas offense set for this next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Prescott off play action. That is caught by Lamb. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, there's no disputing. He's made some poor throws in this first half, but this was a good one. And you can bet this is an offense that isn't going to pull back. They believe in what he can do. So all you can do is look forward, and they pick up a 1st down.
Play action now, Prescott. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 41. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe Possibly. They're still thinking about the first one, and they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception, tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
Denver's offense now set to go. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. Second down and 6 now. Back to throw. Nix. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
From the gun on third down, it's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Back to throw now on first down. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. So the completion good for just 3. And it's second down. Back to throw again. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
No receivers open downfield, so instead of forcing the ball to the sideline, he's going to throw this one down to Fort Worth. He'd rather have the incompletion than the turnover.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 34-yard line. 12 yards on third down as the drive rolls on.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They need to get this to the 24 on third down. Nix looking to throw again. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Nix from the shotgun. Over the middle, complete. That's Sutton. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Second down and 3, ball on the 7. Throwing Nix. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And the Broncos are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
The kick by Lutz is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they'll have time for 1 play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And he had to reach for that one, but can't grab it. It's behind him, and it's incomplete. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Throwing to start the drive. Nix, and his throw is incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And they'll run on the inside handoff. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott getting ready to go once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. 2nd down and a yard. Off the option, here's Williams. And the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Prescott to throw it. Touchdown, Cowboys! Luke Schoonmaker, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are back within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And the lead is down to 2. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And coming out now, the Broncos. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. They'll try the left side with Estime. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Off the bootleg, here's Nix. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Nix to the air. And that is incomplete here.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Off the play fake, Nix. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. To throw, here's Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 38-yard line. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 23, here's 2nd down and 7. Looking to throw. Nix. Open man is the tight end Troutman. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Nix. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. They'll try it with Estime. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are able to widen their advantage. Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, and they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
They'll throw again. Prescott. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick six territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
Out right, he finds Tolbert. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 42. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 21. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
They try the left side here with Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And the Cowboys are going to have a first and goal as he's inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line.
I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Yeah, there we go.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. So a big one coming here for Brandon Aubrey. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And that'll move him back within 6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Broncos offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
Encroachment, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
They will face a 2nd and 9 now following the penalty.
To throw is Nix.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Cowboys offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a foot.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Jalen Tolbert,
75 yards.
And the Cowboys strike quickly here to tie up the ball game.
We all knew the situation. We're in the 4th quarter. Who's going to step up and make the big play? Well, we just saw it, didn't we? Took their shot, downfield, got it, and now they're in a great position to take the lead.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away.
And running with power here.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Off the play fake, here's Nix.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
53 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Now it's Nix.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sutton. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry.
And he will have a Broncos first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Here's Nix.
Over the middle, complete. That's Sutton. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. On play action, here's Nix.
And he's got his big tight end here. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 19. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They'll hand it to Estime.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Looking to throw. Nix. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. From 6 yards away.
And the Broncos answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
They'll try and run it here. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points, and that helps. That gives them a 7-point lead. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass, so you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Cowboys offense and CeeDee Lamb ready to take over once more. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively.
To throw is Prescott.
Able to hit his target, Lamb.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
2nd and 6 coming up.
Now Prescott.
That is caught. Schoonmaker. And he is going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Prescott.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Second down, 8 yards to go. Here's Dak. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. He's got his target. That's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Here's first and goal. Now Prescott. And it's caught. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Here's Prescott. Escaping the... And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Aubrey now for the PAT. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And Denver getting set to take the field. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the save calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him.
Oh, what a nice tackle there. That will hardly move the needle at all offensively. A very short game.
Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the Cowboys going to get the first chance here to search for a winner as we're back underway to start this overtime. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
Prescott now.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Prescott from the gun.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
Now a give up the middle to Williams.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line.
On the option to give to Williams here.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Nick Bonito in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. Prescott.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And his kick here is good. And they have regained the lead. That was a big risk here in overtime. It sent him out to fire away from long distance, but he knocks it through to give him the lead.
Edgy, don't you think? Because if he misses there, ball goes to the spot of the kick, correct?
Yep.
And guess what? That only leaves about, 20 yards or so for them to go downfield and be in position themselves. So you have confidence in him, and you have confidence in your defense to go ahead and let him kick that one.
Denver's offense now set to go. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble.
And now we've got a review here. All challenges in overtime, of course, initiated by the replay official here in the stadium.
Play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Running right, here's Estime.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. 3rd and 12. Throwing Nix.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously, he is well short of the first.
And that's all about recognition right there, because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
That is caught.
And he's got this down to the 35.
So the drive will indeed continue. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Nix to the air.
A short throw to Ingram. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
He'll connect on the out route with Ingram.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
Yeah, the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
They'll try to run this one in. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here in OT.
To throw, here's Nix.
Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he is in for the score! And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So for the Broncos, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.